Good morning, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to this family service. For those who I've not met before, I'm student Rabbi Gabriel. I grew up in KLS, was exiled to North London, but it is lovely to be allowed back occasionally. I hope that everyone can see one of these blue books, and that you can also see a copy of the Ten Commandments song, which I realise I don't have, but I will get one at some point when it is time. And we're going to start on page 2 with Ma Tovu. Thank you, Carolyn. Ma Tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Va'ani barov chastecha avo vetecha eshtachave el heichal kodshecha b'yiratecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Va'ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim barov chastecha aneni ba'emet yishecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. And on page 3 we have our morning blessings, which we're going to sing, each one starting in Hebrew and ending in English. And it goes like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for eyes to see. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for clothes to wear. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for the joy of freedom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for the power to rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for providing for all our needs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for daily renewing our strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamuhulal b'fi amo meshubach umfo'ar bilshon chasidav avadav. Bishvachot uvizmirot negadelcha v'namlichecha malkeinu yachid che ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai melech muhulal batishbachot. And let's sing Mizmor Shir at the bottom of page 4. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, 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 ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלינה ועלי היגיון בחינוך, מזמור של יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, הולך, הולך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור של יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Let's stand on page 5, not stand on page 5, let's stand, and on page 5 we will read together. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz. Ki Lacha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Shir U'Shvacha, Halel V'Zimra, Barachot V'Hodaot, Me'ata Ve'ad Olam. Baruch Ata Adonai, Habocher B'Shirei Zimra. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. And you may sit down. And on page 6, let's read in English. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, Maker of light and Creator of darkness, Author of peace and Creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, Creator of light. Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu, Chemla Godola V'Tira Chamalta Aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avor Avotenu Shebatchu V'cha, Vatlamdem Chukei Chayim Kein Tuchonenu Utlamdenu, V'tein Belipenu Lahavinu Lahaskil Lishmoa Lilmod Ulalamed, לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. כיוונו ובחרת לאחדך באהבה, ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. Now, this is the point where the Blue Book is designed to trip up any visiting person, because we've got the same paragraph that we just did before has been put back in again by mistake. But there's actually a little bit relevant, because today's Torah portion, we're going to be reading the Ten Commandments, which conveniently enough you can see displayed behind me there. But the Ten Commandments actually appear twice in the Torah. They appear once in today's bit, and once in several months' time at the very, very end of Deuteronomy, the very, very end of the Torah, we get them again. And they're slightly different both times. And it's because they're written for slightly different groups of people. Who do you think were the first group of people to get the Ten Commandments? Yes. That's absolutely right. The people who were led out of slavery. So the people who had been born as slaves and slaved away in Egypt and then got freed, and then they got given the Ten Commandments. Who got the second version of the Ten Commandments at the end of the Torah? There's a hand, second row there.
Levites, maybe?
It's a really good guess. Some of them were Levites. Yeah.
Children born to hadn't been slaves?
That's exactly right. Yeah. It was the next generation down, the next group of people along. And that's why they're slightly different, because they were written for slightly different audiences. And the biggest difference between them is in the commandment about Shabbat, which we're all doing today. And the first version that we're going to read this morning says that Shabbat is to remember that the world was made in 6 days and then God rested on the seventh day. And that's what we probably all grew up learning what Shabbat was about. But the second version of the commandment says Shabbat is about that and also about being led out of Egypt. And that needed to be put in the second version because, like you said, it was different people. And those people hadn't been out of Egypt themselves, and so they didn't have those memories themselves, and so they had to be reminded. But just to make sure that we're all being reminded as well, if you turn to your Ten Commandments song sheets, we are going to remind ourselves what the Ten Commandments were. This goes to the tune of Michael Finnegan, which you do all know, even if you don't actually think you know it, and so you will pick it up very quickly. And it goes like this. God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, and this is what they say. Listen to your mum and dad, do what they say, have a nice rest on the Shabbat day, don't take other people's things away, it's all in the Ten Commandments. God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, and this is what they say. There's just one God, never worship another, never tell lies about your sister or your brother, enjoy yourself, don't envy others, it's all in the Ten Commandments. God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, and this is what they say. Don't take God's name in vain, don't cause your partner any pain, the people of the world must never be slain, it's all in the Ten Commandments. God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, God gave us the Ten Commandments, and that is what they say. There will be a quiz later, and I'm not joking, so hold on to those. Also, don't cause your partner any pain is slightly elliptical, but we'll save that one for the grown-ups. So, let's continue with the Shema at the bottom of page 7. Please stand. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Le'olam Ba'ed. And you shall love the eternal God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you shall be on your heart, and you shall teach them to all your children, and you shall talk of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking on your way, lying down and getting up, and you shall write them on the doors of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Leman tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Please take a seat. Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words now and forever. The everlasting God is sovereign, the rock of Jacob, the shield of salvation. Eternal God, you redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam and all Israel together sang to you this song. What's the tune for this one? I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the sea. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele nora tehilot osef ele. Now, that song Mi Chamocha, if you look really closely, the first line is Mi Chamocha and the second line is Mi Kamocha. There's a difference there. Does anyone know why that might be? Janet, Rabbi Janet, why might that be?
Because as the Israelites marched into the sea, they were singing Michamocha, but then the water rose and rose and rose, and finally they began to choke on it, and so it became a hard Michamocha.
That's exactly right. So just as the Israelites were crossing the Red Sea, they had to get into the sea before it had parted. It wasn't like parted ready for them like a road, but they had to be very brave and start walking in, and the water was up to their chests and then up to their shoulders, and then it was up to their mouths, and Mi Chamocha. But then finally when the water cleared, they could sing properly, and it was Mi Kamocha. And so this whole Torah portion with the Ten Commandments and with bits of the Song of the Sea as well, we're imagining that we ourselves were doing all of these things. And so we're going to carry on at the bottom of page 9. The redeemed sang a new song to your name at the shore of the sea. Saved from destruction, they acknowledged your sovereign power by saying, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael go aleinu Adonai sevaot shemo kadosh Yisrael baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael, Ga'al Yisrael, Yisrael. Please stand for the Amidah. Yananai, nai, 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 Adonai. Yananai, nai, 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 Svatai Tivtach. Yana nai 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yana nai 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 Adonai. Yananai nai 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 svatai tiftach. Yananai nai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, u'Mevi Geula livnei v'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Hoseh u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye metim atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh u'morid hatar. Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechaye metim b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim b'rofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevurot, Umidom elach, Melech meimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'emanatal hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. We sanctify your name on earth, as in the prophet's vision the hosts of heaven sing your praise above, for so it is written, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch ol haaretz kevodo, Kevodo malei olam. Baruch kavod Adonai mimkomo. Mimkomcha malkeinu tofia v'timloch aleinu, ki mechakim anachnu lach. Yimloch leonai leolam, Elohai hikzion, ledor vador, hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid godlecha, Unetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish b'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please take a seat. And at the bottom of page 12, we're going to sing about how lovely it is to get to spend Shabbat here together. Yismachu b'malchutcha, Yismachu b'malchutcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg, Mekadshei Shvi'i, Mekadshei Shvi'i, Kulam yisba'u v'yitagu b'tuvecha, V'hashvi'i, Ratzita bo v'kidashto, Chemdat yamim, Oto karata, Zechel ma'aseh bereshit. And at the top of page 13, let's read together. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your salvation and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Shabbat enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Yisrael utfilatam be'ahava tekabel, u'tehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yira na'avod. We give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hands, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. And on page 14, let's sing Nasim Shalom. Nasim Shalom Tova Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Nasim Shalom Tova Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Let the light of your presence be the light of our lives. Grant us happiness, mercy, and peace. May the people of Israel join hands with the world, and our passion for justice increase. Nasim Shalom Tova Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Nasim Shalom Tova Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Let the light of your Torah be the light of our dreams. Grant us goodness, grant us blessings and love. May our yearning for peace be a blessing for the world, as the olive branch soars with the dove. Nasim Shalom Torah Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Nasim Shalom Torah Uvracha Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Now we're going to take a moment for silent prayer before we sing Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom, Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'yimru Amen. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. So we're coming now to our Torah service, which we're going to start at the bottom of page 15. Assemble the people, the men and the women and the children and the strangers in your cities, to hear and learn to revere the Eternal One, your God, and observe faithfully all the precepts of this Torah. And let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere the Eternal One, your God. Now, we're going to need some people to open the ark and some people to undress the scroll. So can I suggest that, Barbara, if you could bring your class to do the scroll undressing and you can then assist them with it. I knew you'd love that. And maybe do you three want to come and open the ark? Three at the front. There we go. So please can everyone stand up? You three are going to open the ark and I'm going to take the scroll out for Barbara's class to undress.
They are on our class.
You're all Barbara's class. Sorry, I just assumed you were in different rows. Fine. Well, you three are going to open the ark and you two are going to undress the scroll. There we go. Heave ho.
Mighty children.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti, Unoroma Shemo Yachdav. There we go. So let me give this to... I'll give it to Barbara to sit down with, and then you two can do the undressing. There we go. And you may shut the ark, and then everyone can sit down when the ark is shut. There we go. You three can sit down for a moment, and I'll call you back at the other end. And while this is happening, we're going to sing Al Shlosha at the bottom of page 16. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al Ha'avodah ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al Ha'avodah ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Perfect timing.
Well done, you go sit down.
You can sit down now, and we'll call you back at the other end of the Torah reading. There we go. Are you going to deliver it, or do you want me to take it?
You take it.
Thank you. Now, the other interesting thing about the Ten Commandments is that they include the longest verse in the Torah and the shortest verse in the Torah. And we're going to start with the longest verse, and you're going to hear the shortest verses as well. There's 4 shortest verses, and they're all 2 words each. What do you think the 2-word verses are? You know this. Do not, yeah, it's the short do nots one. No lying, no stealing, etc. So you're going to hear them as we go. First of all, I'm going to read the Torah blessings, and then there is a tradition to stand up when the 10 Commandments are being read, because everyone was standing up at Mount Sinai to hear them. You don't have to, but if you would like to, you are more than welcome to. Omri is going to take quite a lot of persuading not to stand up. And so I will read the Torah blessings and then the portion. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'Torah. Are we ready, Craig?
Decided to do an update.
We good? See, Moses had to wait for God to get the 10 Commandments, and I'm waiting for Craig to get the 10 Commandments.
Apologies to online people. No, it's not working still.
Very good. Apologies to online people. You will not get to see the 10 Commandments, but then neither will anyone here, to be fair. So you are in fact on an even footing. Here we go. Anochi Adonai Elohecha Asher hotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim מבית עבדים לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל ואשר בארץ מתחת ואשר במים מתחת לארץ לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אלקנה פוקד עוון אבות על בנים על שלישים ועל רבעים לשונאי ועושה חסד לאלפים לא אהבי ולשומרי מצוותי. That's verse 1. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו. ששת ימים תעבוד ועשית כל מלאכתך, ביום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך. לא תעשה כל מלאכה, אתה ובנך וביתך, עבדך ואמתך ובהמתך, וגרך אשר בשעריך. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בהם, וינח ביום השביעי. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. Here come the short ones. לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תענה ברעך את שקר, לא תחמוד בית רעך, לא תחמוד אשת רעך, ועבדו ואמתו ושורו וחמורו וכל אשר לרעך. And you may be seated, having been given that lesson. And the blessing after the Torah reading goes, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Do you have to get up one more time while I raise the scroll? I'm sorry. Please rise. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Quite pleased I managed to do that. Please be seated. And I'm going to invite us to do it the other way around this time. So if you three and Barbara would now like to dress the scroll, and you two are going to open the ark, but not quite yet. You can stay behind, boys, for a minute. No, sorry. Torah dressers we need now. Ark openers can wait for a minute. So, Barbara, let's have you as well. So.
Oh my goodness.
Do you want to sit down again and I deliver it to you?
Yes.
Is that... Survive the Holocaust. Survive this. Right.
Let's do the ribbon round.
Now, on page 18, while this is happening, we are going to sing the Tree of Life song. Everyone can clap who is here that I can see, so I want that to be taking place, and it goes like this. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. There we go. We're just dressing the final stages of the scroll. Meanwhile, we're going to begin our community prayers. So please can you rise on page 18. Eternal God, whose dominion has embraced the universe, we ask your blessing for all the royal family, for those who govern our country, and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel, who enter synagogues to pray and to give aid to those in need. May the Holy One, to whom all praise is due, hear their prayers and help them to fulfill their aspirations for good. We also take a moment to recall the ordeal that our sisters and brothers went through in Texas last Shabbat, and we thank God for their safe release and for their courage, and for the fact that we can all attend synagogue here in safety and in comfort. Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'davar Adonai mirushalayim. And if our ark openers, you two boys, could now come and open the ark. Thank you, Torah dressers. Oh yeah. Ki lekach tov natati lachem, Torati al ta'azovu. Etz chaim hi lamachazikim ba, v'tomchecha me'ushar, derachecha darchei noam, v'chol tibotecha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha, v'nashuva chadesh yameinu k'kedem, chadesh yameinu k'kedem. Please be seated, and thank you to everyone who has helped out handling scrolls and arks. So, I told you there would be a 10 Commandments quiz. There is actually going to be 10 Commandments Charades. So, here on the Mimmer, I've got pieces of paper for each commandment, and I'm going to ask for a volunteer to come and take a piece of paper, and you have to act out that commandment without using your voice at all. Who would like to have a go? All right, your hand was up first, so you can come up. Sorry, behind you first. We'll come to you second. Right. This is your commandment. Stand in the middle where everyone can see you, and you can shout out when you know what it is. All right, you're saying drinking wine. That's not strictly one. Yeah, there we go. You've got it. Remembering Shabbat. That's exactly it. Well done. Round of applause. All right, up you come. This is your one. Yes, what do you think it is?
Kill.
Honor your parents.
I think don't kill rather than kill, but I'll allow that one, yes. All right, who would like a go? You would like a go. Come forward. Yes, what do you think it is?
Don't steal.
Don't steal. That is absolutely right. Thank you. Just pop it down, it's fine. All right. Grown-ups are allowed to volunteer as well. Last call, otherwise I'm going to have to do one. All right. What am I going to do? All right. Watch closely. What was that one? Honour your parents. Quite right too. Yeah, are you honouring your parents? Hello, yes. All right, we're going to move on in that case to our closing prayers. We're going to sing Bayom Hahu on page 19. A day will dawn in a time to come, a day when God's name shall be won, all war and suffering shall be through. When that day comes, Bayom Hahu, and on that day I will wipe all tears away. Sorrow and pain shall all be gone, and my name it shall be one. Bayom Hahu. Let justice and righteousness flow like a stream. The old and the young shall see visions and dream, and what they dream shall yet come true. When that day comes, Bayom Hahu, and on that day I will wipe all tears away. Sorrow and pain shall all be gone, and my name it shall be one. Bayom Hahu. They shall not hurt and destroy in your holy place. Your word shall be known to the whole human race, on their lips, in their hearts, so they'll know what to do when that day comes. Bayom Hahu, and on that day I will wipe all tears away. Sorrow and pain shall all be gone, and my name it shall be one. Bayom Hahu. The spear will break and the chariot burn. The hearts of the parents to children will turn, and children to parents, and all turn to you. When that day comes, Bayom Hahu, and on that day I will wipe all tears away. Sorrow and pain shall all be gone, and my name it shall be one. Bayom Hahu. I started that too high, but there we go. Let's turn to page 20 now and rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gdula liyotzeh bereshit, asher tzamchakenu le'ached et shemo, v'gor aleinu l'hamlich malchuto, ve'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. And at the bottom of page 21, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. There are stars whose radiance is visible on earth, though they have long been extinct. There are people whose brilliance continues to light the world, though they are no longer among the living. These lights are particularly bright when the night is dark. They light the way for humanity. This Shabbat we're particularly remembering Elga Edelstein, the aunt of Katya Ray, Barbara Montague, the mother of Joyce Tyra, Liselot Hirschfield, the mother of Judy Cole, Tony Simmons, the husband of Maria Simmons, Lisa Abramson, the mother of Judy Parrish and grandmother of Nicholas and Jonathan Parrish and Sarah Pollins, and Liam Humphreys, friend of Daniel Bates. for those we've named out loud, for those we name in our hearts, and for those who no longer have anyone to say Kaddish for them, we turn to page 22 and say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma divrach Yeruteh bi'amlich malchuteh, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, B'galah v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mavarach le'alam olamei almayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitrabam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dukudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Yamiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shalama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, ve'el kol b'nei Adam, v'imru Amen. May the Most High Source of perfect peace grant peace to us, to all Israel, to all humanity, and let us say Amen. So, I'm going to invite the children to come up onto the bimah for a closing blessing. Yeah, let's bring Omri up as well. You're a children. There we go. Vince, as a tall person, would you like to come and assist with the tallis? Sorry? I suspect we can fit our children onto the one tallis. There we go. You want to stand under here? Hello, Omri. And we're going to say, Yivarachechem Adonai v'yishmorchem. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'ar Adonai alechem panav alechem v'yasamchem. May God turn God's face towards you in tenderness. Yisar Adonai panav alechem v'yasem lachem. Quick! Shalom. May God turn towards you in tenderness and give you and your families some peace. And let us say, Amen. Do please be seated, and we're going to have a final song. So I've got Adan Olam on a random page at the back of my blue folder. You might also have it on a random page at the back of your blue folders, but if not, I'm sure you will find a way of coping. And it goes as so. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'itnasa V'chefzo kol Adai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kichlot HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'itnasa V'chefzo kol Adai Melech Shemo Nikra V'hu echad ve'en sheni Laham shelo lahachbira Adon Olam B'li reshit b'li tachlit B'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'itnasa V'chefzo kol Adai Melech Shemo Nikra V'hu Eli v'chai go'ali V'tzochev li be'etzara Adon Olam V'hu Nissi u'manos li Menat kosi be'yom ekra Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'itnasa V'chefzo kol Adai Melech Shemo Nikra Meya'ado Avkit Ruchi Be'et Tishan Me'a'ira Adon Olam Ve'im Ruchi Gaviyati Adonai Le'velo Ira Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'itnasa V'chefzo kol Adai Melech Shemo Nikra. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.